everyone, and welcome to episode 9 of the MaryGoRound Podcast. My name is Mary Brasha, and I'm your host. This podcast is powered by Selkirk Sport. We are Pickleball. I just got back from Dallas for one day at home, and then I'm flying to Daytona tomorrow, but just wanted to come on here and reflect on a great 12 days in Texas. Maggie and I came away with the silver medal in women's doubles at nationals, and I am just overjoyed with this result. We have been working hard on and off the court, and to accomplish this at one of the biggest tournaments of the year is just so cool. I'm just super thankful for this moment and ready to do it again. We are hungry for more championship Sundays. That was our first one as a women's doubles team on the PPA tour, and just we would love to just do it again and keep getting better. So we are going to get back to work. Our first nationals was in 2021. I played with Dan Roditi and Maggie. We actually got a game off the Waters duo at that tournament, so it was a good one. But a little backstory is that Maggie was asked by a top player to play mixed doubles. And at the time, we were playing part-time pickleball and 5-0 events. So we really were hoping for the chance to win the national title in 5-0, but you couldn't play both divisions. So we signed up for pro. That partner ended up dropping Maggie. So we were kind of feeling a little discouraged, like, are we going to have the chance to play for a national title again? And I knew we'd keep getting better, but to do it here in 2023 and just have that chance to compete for the gold medal on Sunday was just a great opportunity and just really encouraging, and just reminds us that, like, these are the moments we train for. The hard work is paying off, and we can't wait to keep getting better. I also wanted to take a minute to talk about my MLP experience with the Miami Pickleball Club. I had a lot of fun playing with my teammates, Tyson, Federico, and Tyra. We had some great matches and made it to the playoffs, came up just a bit short of the semifinals, but feeling really good about our team and the dynamic, and we're playing really well with one another. So I am hopeful that the San Clemente event will happen in December so we can compete for that title. We are staying tuned. We don't really know at this moment if an event is happening or not, so we'll keep you guys posted. But yeah, super happy with how our team competed. Stay tuned for another episode also where I'm going to reflect more on nationals and do kind of a Q&A. So if you have any questions for me, message me on Instagram or comment below, and I hope to answer them next time. With all that said, let's jump into our guest for the day. Today's guest is a pickleball legend. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame last year. He has 11 national titles and 6 Canadian national titles. He is also the coach of the Austin Pickleballers Major League Pickleball team. Please welcome to the podcast, Wes Gabrielsen. Hello, Wes. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Great to be with you.
This is so exciting that you're on the MaryGoRound podcast. I mean, you have your own video series, Winning with Wes, yourself. You're an expert in front of the camera.
Well, just trying to be on and help my friend, you, and support your awesome new podcast.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, so many things to catch up on. I always love chatting with you, but I think the first thing I want to talk about is all of this time in Dallas. I mean, I was there for 12 days. You were there for a while as well for both Major League Pickleball and Nationals. Would love to hear a little bit about your time in Texas.
Yeah, well, it was interesting because I came in October, I think it was 29th, and the team I'm coaching, Austin Pickleballers, we did a training camp at a Chicken and Pickle, and I brought the cold weather from the Northwest with me because it was like 38 degrees, and our players are like, Wes, we're going to be inside for this training camp, right? We're not going to be in the cold weather. Yeah. So, we got a training camp in and then competed, the same venue that your team did. And I think by the time Premier started, it was normal Texas temperatures.
Right. It was chilly when we first got there. I was wearing my vest to practice outside. I was like, okay, I gotta stay warm, and I was glad the sun came out.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it was a little bit harder being on the sideline because we weren't moving as much as you all. You got warmed up, you started playing, and we were like, "Oof, super cold," until like noon. So
Wow. Well, you have been both a player and a coach in MLP. I would love to know more about what it's like to be on both sides of that. I mean, you're living the best of both worlds. Go Jackrabbits forever.
go Jackrabbits. So you and I and your sister and AJ were on Team Jackrabbits last year. We got that one event in Newport Beach together, and that was so much fun.
So fun.
But yeah, it was super fun to be part of that and play in it and compete. I think for a lot of us that are a little bit older than you and your sister, that are a little further removed from the college sports era, for us, it's really kind of a fun throwback to being on a college team again, competing in tennis and kind of playing with your teammates, coaching them on the sidelines. Super fun experience, and then transitioning this year into coaching at MLP has been just a blast. Getting to work with all different players and knowing most of them as competitors.
Yeah.
Uh, and I often get questions, "Hey, is it weird coaching your competitors?" Because I
Yeah.
will likely, like play a few of them in every tournament I play in.
Right.
And no, it's not weird. I mean, as a former school teacher and high school and college tennis coach, it's like if you don't feel comfortable telling someone what to do in that role, you're not in the right role. So
Exactly.
for me, it's fine. They know I'm trying to help and not, deterring from their success. So
Yeah, we know you're trying to get all the inside scoop on all the players and all that. I'm just kidding. No, I always when you're around, I'm like, I just want to soak up all the info from you because you just have so much pickleball experience. And I mean, I want to go back to like kind of how you got into pickleball and your journey and tell us more about that.
yeah, so I first came across pickleball when I was 12, and that
Wow.
was about 25, 26 years ago, in middle school PE class here in Oregon, because pickleball was born in Seattle, so it
Yep.
trickled down to the schools in our great state. And we played with a wooden paddle
Wow.
and a Duraball
Okay.
on a wood floor.
Sounds fast.
A lot of quick points, a lot of quick points, a lot of long games because it's really hard to win on your serve.
Right.
Especially in singles. And then, played in high school in PE class, and then in college we had our women's tennis coach had taught the PE class, and so or the pickleball class. So when it would rain, we wouldn't have practice. We'd go inside and play pickleball.
Nice.
So that was cool, but we didn't dink. We didn't know a third shot drop. We were just playing tennis. Like it was just fun.
Yeah.
And she was a saint to let us come in, us rowdy college boys, and like she put us on one court at the end of her class and separated us so we wouldn't run into everyone and just let us play. So kudos to her. It was super fun.
And who would have thought that would lead you to your career? I mean,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
I met you, you were teaching still,
Hmm.
and then you decided to go full time with Pickle. What made you make that decision? Was it scary? Like, tell us a little more.
It was an interesting journey. So, kind of before I made that choice, I had played open and pro pickleball since 2012. I kind of came back to it after college and started playing the first pro tournament we ever had, which was 2013 TOC.
Wow.
Um, it was like an invite only thing, and they didn't fill the bracket up, and so they opened it up to everyone. And I said, "Oh, I want to go play this thing," and then I was hooked. So I competed in the summertime when I wasn't teaching school, and then my principals would let me have the week off in November to go to nationals and
Yeah.
compete. So it was kind of like a part-time thing for me before the tours ever or came about. And then honestly, when COVID hit and my last couple years of teaching high school, we were all on Zoom. I think everyone got a little restless because it wasn't the most enjoyable.
Right.
And luckily I was teaching upper level, senior, junior classes where kids participated on Zoom. So it was okay for me. But someone reached out and said, "Hey, we're going to start doing some camps in your area. Are you interested in helping us?" And, consulted with the family and they thought, "Oh yeah, give it a go." And I actually got a leave of absence for 1 year. So my job was still there, but I
Okay.
wasn't getting paid.
Right.
So that gave me a little sense of security that if it didn't go well, I could go back.
Okay.
And about 4 months in, I said, "Oh yeah, I'm not going back."
No more. You are
No
all
more.
in.
No
All
more.
in. Well, that is super exciting that you made that decision because
Mhm.
pickleball is the best. It needs you around. I mean, how have you seen the game changing over the years?
Wow, there's been a lot of changes. I mean, I remember that again, the first time that I went to this tournament in where was it? It was Seattle. And this was before like player sponsorships and all that stuff. And obviously, I think everyone has seen the pace of play and the athleticism grow. But from the sponsorship side, I mean, I remember someone coming up to me saying, "Hey, we want to give you a paddle and a shirt," and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And now that's the norm, right? I mean, that's like the surface level thing.
Yeah.
And then it was, "Oh, I got a flight paid for, and I got a money match and stuff like that." And
Yeah.
then to see where it's gone now from the support that everyone's getting is really amazing. Um, and there's just more people playing. I mean, we in our state, we've got a ton of people that are pickleball fanatics, just like you do in California. And I mean, 3 years ago, we might have had 20 guys that were 4 or 5 and up in the state. Now we got probably 100. I mean,
Yeah.
just seeing the growth has just been crazy.
That is great to hear because I feel like when I'm at my club, Lowe's Cabin, every day I'm just seeing more and more people showing up to play pickleball. I feel like people are also playing for 5 or 6 hours. They just don't
Mhm.
stop. There's just something about it that like everyone is hopping on the pickleball train. I've been
Sure.
telling people, oh, it's just great. And I feel like it's a life-changing thing too. I feel like so
Mhm.
much joy has been brought into my life, I'm sure into your life too. And the
Sure.
community that it brings, it's something different that I had never experienced like
Mhm.
growing up until now.
Yeah, I mean, how often do you get to play a good game, like, compared to any other sport? You and I come from tennis.
Yeah.
It's hard to get multi-generations on one sport or excuse me, on one court with different skill levels and have a decent game. In pickleball, you can have a 3-0 and a 5-0, and they could be 70 and 15, and you're gonna have a decent rally. I mean, I got to play a tournament with my mother, who's
Aw.
almost 70, and she is like a solid 3-0. And we played an 8-0 combined tournament together, 8-0 doubles, and it was so much fun. I mean, I would never get that chance with her in other sports.
Oh, that's so cute. Aw, goals. We're ready to see you guys back on the court again soon.
Yeah.
Maybe in 2024, we'll be
Maybe
looking out
2024,
for
mother
this
son nationals.
partnership. Okay, well, I want to talk a little bit more about some of your tournament experiences and some of your favorite
Mhm.
memories. And it may take a minute to think about, but do any specific pickleball experiences come to mind that like stand out as a highlight for you?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many fun tournament experiences. One of my favorites was that first U.S. Open,
Okay.
which was in 2016. And it was kind of funny because at that time, for a couple of years, my doubles partner was Kyle Yates. And
Nice.
we had had a lot of success. I always called him my little brother because, he was about 10 years younger than me. And I was one of the younger guys when he came on the scene, and that made me feel like an older guy because he's 10 years younger than me. But we pretty much played every tournament together, all the big ones for a couple years. And that year we ended up winning TOC and we won nationals, but we didn't play together in the US Open. And so it was one of the few times that I played against him. And just being that first US Open, which was the first time that pickleball was televised on a cable sports network, it was so fun because coming from an era where they streamed every match at nationals on a cell phone to now having a network do it, it was just a cool vibe, you know.
Yeah.
And we lost the match. We lost in the final to Kyle and Dave Weinbach, but I had a great time.
Good.
That was a fun experience.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's crazy to me, like, how much is changing so fast with
Mhm.
just getting more eyeballs on the sport. I mean, did you ever expect nationals or the US Open 2 to be as big as they are today?
No. I mean, you know, it's funny because we all are competitive and we love winning. And like a lot of my good memories are, you know, winning TOC and nationals. But some of my favorite memories we didn't win. Last year, nationals, I think about Indian Wells, playing with my buddy Eric Lang. I know you've played with him, and he was on this podcast recently. And we played this great match against Jay DeVilliers and Tyson McGuffin and lost like 11-9 in the third on center court. But we got 5,000 people in the stands, and you feel like you're at home. I love playing in that pressure filled, fun environment in front of a bunch of people.
Yeah.
So I'm just shocked at how big things have gotten so quickly. You know, with
Yeah.
fans, with sponsors, with all of it.
It was crazy this weekend just going inside the stadium and seeing how many
Mhm.
people, because when I've been at tournaments, I feel like a lot of the vibe is people who are playing in the tournament who also stay around and watch. And it's always so fun to be there at the end of the day watching all the matches with your friends after
Sure.
playing. But the amount of people I talk to that just came from all over to watch
Mhm.
pickleball makes me so excited that people are enthusiastic about it and wanting to see more. And I just can't wait to see what's to come in the next couple
Sure.
of years.
And kudos to you and your sister for a great nationals.
Oh, thank
Holy
you.
smokes. Everyone was cheering for you from all around the country. That was so fun to see you both and play so well all week and have such a great run to the final. So congrats to you.
Thank you, Wes. It definitely was a highlight for us this year. I mean, we've been trying to work towards this, and
Mhm.
to make it to Sunday at nationals, it just feels like, as a pickleball enthusiast, like it's just a dream come true to get to play on that stage. So
For
very,
sure.
very grateful for that opportunity and those memories.
Well, people that put in the work get rewarded with good results, and that's both of you. You've been working hard. So it's
Yes,
just the beginning, my friend. You're
it's
gonna
just
just
the
keep ascending.
beginning. And that
Yep.
kind of makes me want to talk a little bit more about, training and kind of developing our skills. I know for Maggie and me, we are really working on drilling. And I
Mhm.
mean, I can already see the improvement from just really focusing on your shots. You're also ambidextrous, you have all the skills. Would love to hear what some of your favorite shots are on the court and how you drill.
Sure. Well, it's an interesting one because I'm kind of in a unique spot in pickleball where I'm coaching, but also competing. And, you know, people ask me all the time, why do you not play more pro events? And I said, well, if you've been playing open pro pickleball for 12 years, you don't want to travel as much as you used to. So for me, since I don't play as many, maybe 5, 6 big pro stops a year, drilling is a huge part of what I do back home to stay fresh.
Mhm.
And, you know, Eric and I try to drill once a week. We've also got guys like Spencer Lanier and Stefan Andren and Jason Bach who are playing pro events all the time. And so I'm really lucky that those guys are on the road so much and they come back and they're playing so well. So my drilling and playing partners keep me fresh
Yeah.
so I can go to those couple pro stops and still compete at a high level. But drilling is everything. I mean, if I get 4 days a week to play, I will drill exclusively for 3 of them and
Okay.
maybe play one. Um, I spend half my time on dinks. I mean, if Eric and I play for 2 hours, We drill, we spend the first hour on dinks, 30 minutes on resets. I know you and I love playing defense, so
Woo!
go team
Defense.
reset. And then, a little bit on thirds, a little bit on volleys, but for where I'm at and my role in men's doubles specifically, dinks and resets I spend the most time with.
Good to know. Okay, this is the system to success. Winning with Wes. Be a good dinker.
I
Let's
like how you
go.
rhyme that.
Well, that is good information. Thank you. Well, I kind of want to talk about what is coming up for you in your pickleball life. I know you guys also run the Oregon Cup. I'd love to hear more about that.
Sure. So Oregon Cup was an event that Mr. Lang and I started in 2020. I think everyone in pro pickleball was really excited because the PPA Tour and the APP Tour were starting that year. I remember playing the first event of the PPA Tour in Mesa with Eric, and then COVID hit and everything got shut down. So
Wow.
it was a little crazy. We were just clamoring for tournament competition. And there really wasn't a lot. And so I said, Eric, what if we did this team event where you're a captain, I'm a captain, let's get 10 of our buddies together and we'll do a team format. So we got together. We didn't really advertise it because, people weren't supposed to gather in parks in large numbers. And
Right.
we show up on a Sunday morning and we only need 3 courts at our park that has 6 courts. We had like almost 100 people show up and watch as per word of mouth.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So we decided, next year, maybe we can, as things open up, we can get more people to play and have it at a different venue where we can have spectators. So he and I were captains again, and it's the top men in Oregon, and the ladies have started their women's cup, which is awesome, and we've done a mixed cup, so it's cool to see everyone doing team events. We expanded to 20 players, and then by last year we expanded to I think 24, and this year we had 32, and we had so many people interested that we did a draft because that was the
Okay.
only way we could fairly get everyone involved and have a draft. And it's a great time to compete in a team environment where we use MLP format scoring, and it's more about the fellowship. There's no prize money.
Mhm.
It's all for bragging rights. And so it's super cool to see senior pros and pros play together, and we just have a great time. So we look forward to next year's event.
I want to be a part of the Oregon Cup. What the heck? That sounds so amazing. I'm gonna have to be a guest someday. I'm just kidding.
You got to be an Oregon resident. But
Oh, okay. Looks like I'm
I
moving.
got a funny little story here. So we're in Daytona. I saw you MLP Daytona, and Paul Olin, senior pro, awesome dude, comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, I think I'm going to come out and play the Oregon Cup. I saw you guys advertise on social." And I said, "Paul, what do you mean you're going to come play it?" He goes, "It looks great. Stefan, our buddy, told me about it." I said, "Paul, you got to live in Oregon to play in it, man." And he goes, "Well, that's not fair." So I said, "Paul, you move out here, man. You can play in it any year."
Okay, well, looks like everyone is going to be moving to Oregon next year so we can all compete. I think this sounds like such a cool experience for pickleball people. And also just having those tournament environments
Mhm.
is just a great way to get the reps also for people who are trying to rise in the sport. I mean, you obviously are like an 11-time national champion. Let's go. You have lots of reps, but yeah, getting these people experience is great too. So, way to create those opportunities.
Yeah, it's super fun. Like we've got a couple young kids that are 16 and 17 that have played PPAs and made it through qualies and played the Johns and played Pat and Jay. And one of those kids was on our team and he was the MVP of the whole tournament. I mean, this
Oh,
16-year-old went 8-0 on the day and was our MVP, and our team won because of him.
Oh, that is great to hear. I am super passionate about developing the next gen of pickleball players. I know I love working with the young kids. They're so excited to play pickleball. I've done a couple like clinics and camps. And do you see pickleball being pretty prominent in high school and college?
I would love to see it. As you know, as someone who used to work in that environment, teaching and coaching, I would love to see it. I know they have the Duper National Championships, and a lot of schools do that. I know people here in Oregon who are working with the OSAA, the State Athletic Association, to try to get pickleball as a club sport. So, the question I have for you: do you think it's more likely to be in college first, like a real, like an NCAA sanctioned sport, or a high school sport?
That's a tough question. I just don't know if there's enough people playing quite yet to like, I mean, obviously they're coming every day, but to really have it as like a sanctioned sport yet, I think it's definitely
Sure.
going in that direction. But right now, I really see kids in high school picking it up. Let's get more after school programs, get
Mhm.
people on the pickleball court, set up the tape on basketball courts, whatever we have to do to get everyone paddles and on the court. I just see it growing fast. So, yes, I see in a couple years this happening. I know for me personally, when I'm done playing, coaching college pickleball would be such a fun thing to do. I mean, that'd be awesome. I could totally see you doing that too.
That would be fun, but you're not done playing. You got a lot of career left. But you
Yeah,
can do both. You can do both.
yeah,
That's like what I'm doing. It's super fun. So,
yeah. Just so many exciting things to come. The time is now. It's a great time to be in this sport and something that's just growing so fast. So
mhm.
we're about to wrap up chatting today. Wanted to ask what advice you have for people who are trying to pursue a career in pro pickleball.
It's a good question. I think it's a much different journey people are on now than when I started 10 years ago, where there wasn't really a guideline. It was just kind of go play, and sponsorships weren't what they are now. I think there's all these different companies coming out with paddles and wanting players, and we've got the tours. And my biggest advice to players is, even though you're out there and you're grinding and you're playing all these tournaments, it's okay to take some breaks. The
Yeah.
pickleball is not going to leave you. I try to cap the amount of tournaments I play. I'm in a different boat, right? I mean, I want to play 10 to 15 a year. I don't know how many pickleball tournaments you play this year, but I would imagine it's probably close to 30,
Yep.
if not maybe a little bit more. Um, and I think my biggest advice is create the schedule that you want. If you're putting out good play and you're getting the reps, you're going to get that assistance. It might not come quickly, but over time it'll be there. And really also sit down and write out some goals for what you want as your end goal. Is this something you want to do in 5 to 10 years, or is it more of a 1 to 2 year thing?
Mhm.
And so I think setting goals for yourself without any distractions, without any input, is really important. And then take time off. You
Yeah.
you you got to
Rest.
have, yes, have other activities. Like, what besides pickleball, what do you do for fun that's exercise based?
Wes, this is the problem. Right now, I just play so much pickleball. I'm that person that plays 8 hours a day. But the thing is you are so right. I've never been a person that really takes time to rest and take care of my body. I'm always just go, go, go. And being a touring pickleball pro has really taught me the importance of being home, taking
Yes.
time for yourself, having just time for your mind to relax and just sit outside and look around and just enjoy the surroundings, things like that. I really realized are important. And those are cool lessons to learn, when you're living this interesting, like pickleball life. It's unique, it's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. I mean, I've always had that outlet of when I was teaching school, my job prevented me, and I don't mean to sound that in a negative way, but it prevented me from burnout because I
Right.
would go to a tournament, I'd come back, I'd practice a little during the week, but I would have time off.
Yeah.
Now what you're doing, what I'm doing, what others are doing, we're on the court all the time.
Yeah.
I guess to help with that, instead of maybe people training all day every day, go play rec at the park with 4Os that are looking to improve their game. That gets you
Yes.
touches, but you're not crushing your mind or your body, you
Yes.
know. And for me, for recovery days, what I do, I golf. I go golf.
Love golf.
Yeah, gets exercise, exercises your mind, but it exercises different muscles, right? Go to the gym, do something else, but
Yes.
take time off. It's okay.
It is okay. Well, Wes, I think we're going to need to go golfing soon next time you're in Orange County. We will set that up. We'll get Maggie out there. We'll get Hayden out there, Callan. They're big golfers now too. So we'll set
As
it
long
up.
as long as we get Vinny out there too. Then we
And
can
my
hit some golf
dad.
balls with
Yes.
Vinny. Yep.
Yes. You guys always have the good banter, which is good.
We do. He was the biggest cheerleader in the stands during MLP last year, especially when this old guy had to play some singles.
Never forget the Dream Breakers. They are the best.
They're the best, and I could hear him in the crowd the whole time. It was great.
Oh, well, that's sweet. Well, Wes, thank you so much for coming on the MaryGoRound podcast. I appreciate your friendship and your wisdom in the sport so much. I think you're one of the best people in pickleball, and it's just a pleasure to know you. So thank you.
Well, thank you for this podcast and for having me on in your friendship.
Yay. Well, thank you to everyone who tuned into this episode of the MaryGoRound podcast. We will see you next time. Bye.